If you are any kind of artist, pay attention. This is important. You do not need to go viral. You do not need 100,000 followers. You do not need to, quote, make it or be discovered in order to have an extraordinary career, in order to make tons of money, six figures, even more sustainably, consistently, in a way that feels satisfying, in a way where you are living your passions and where you are not burning out on social media or burning out in general. It absolutely is possible. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly how to do it. Hello. I am Fiona Flyte, and it is my passion and my privilege to help performing artists with money and personal power. Because you need the personal power in order to do what is required to make the money, and you need the money in order to be really satisfied in your life as an artist. This is not the place to come if you want to stay in the starving artist mindset or just do it for the art. We're doing it for the art, but we're doing it for more than the art. We're doing it for our mission of serving the world through our art, through our wisdom, through our leadership, through our coaching, through our multiple passions. And to do that, we need money. So as I started to commit all of myself to becoming a successful performing artist, that looked like doing a lot of opera programs, networking around opera, getting a master's degree in vocal performance, and following a traditional path that I thought was the way you become a successful opera singer. I thought I had to go to the young artist programs. I thought I had to get as much experience as I possibly can and get better and better and better and better until I was undeniably so good that I would be discovered. Once I was discovered by an agent, a manager, a label, a producer, a director, somebody in the industry who would say, wow, Fiona, she's amazing. We need to give her jobs and just like pour the money on and send her around the world to perform. Once that happened, I'd have it made. That wasn't what happened. And I lost a great deal of money and personal power in the chasing of that dream of being discovered. Because one of the things that I have discovered along the way is that we have to first discover ourselves. We have to first believe that we are, in fact, the one to do this, the one to live our artistic life out there, bold and proud and loud. And that until we believe it at the core of who we are, no one else is going to recognize it in us anyway. The problem is that as we're waiting to be discovered, we're just typically waiting, although it doesn't feel like waiting because we're hustling. We're going and taking this gig and that gig and this audition and doing whatever we can to make money because we have to make money to live when we could be developing streams of income. Now, in my experience, for a lot of artists, one of the primary streams of income is as some kind of teacher. You do not have to teach the thing that you do, though, if you don't enjoy teaching it. So for me, for many, many years, I taught singing and I taught the technique of singing, although I didn't really love technique or teaching technique, even though I was good at it. But what I did love was the actual connection with the students. And when I look back at my timeline, I realized that a lot of these lessons that were supposed to be like the singing lesson were actually me coaching them, life coaching them, business coaching them. It was more about an artistic coaching and performance coaching. I absolutely did teach them the technique because I thought that that was required. But the part that lit me up was the part where we expanded in who they actually knew themselves to be, in this stepping into the becoming of the more of who they actually were. And so as I entered into the online space and I started to discover that there were so many other ways I could brand myself besides singing teacher, that's when things got really juicy. And so you can start from the very beginning. If you decide you want to start teaching what it is that you know or what it is that you're passionate about as another stream of income, you can brand it in such a way that you don't have to teach any part that you don't want to teach. And you can actually lead and teach in the parts that are the most exciting for you. So let's do a little bit of math. If you just are teaching, and let's say you have a full studio, which to me is 20, 25 students a week. If we're going to go beyond 20, 25 students a week, like that is just so much. And I mean, honestly, for me, if I went beyond 10 to 15, I started to feel burnout. But let's just say you're going to teach 25 students a week and you're charging $75 an hour, and these are hour-long lessons. That's $97,500. So just by being a teacher, charging $75 an hour, you're almost at $100,000. And that's without your gigs and without creating courses and any other option. Now you may say, okay, but like I'm not ready to charge $75 an hour, or how am I going to get those 20, 25 students? And that's just part of the journey, part of the process. What I'm wanting to awaken you to right now is just that as a music teacher or an acting coach, it's possible to make six figures just doing that. And I wish that I had taken that part of my business more seriously when I was younger, because I would have been in a much better financial position much sooner. If instead of like throwing aside my teaching whenever I got a gig, or throwing it aside and under the bus when I decided I needed to go all in with my focus on my singing again in order to get discovered. Instead, I would go back and I never would go back, because I really believe that it's all about the journey of becoming. But if I was to relive that part of my life with all the wisdom that I have today, I would have taken the teaching part very seriously, not so that it was more important than my singing and performing, but that it was important, and that building out that income was important. And I would have gotten much more courageous in terms of teaching groups and creating courses much earlier as well. But none of this requires being discovered. None of this requires going viral. None of this requires becoming famous. None of this requires having 100,000 followers. All you really need is to be strategic in your marketing, whether you're marketing around your city, whether you're marketing on your social media, whether you're marketing via word of mouth. Lots of different ways to market as a music teacher or any kind of artist teacher, lots of different ways. But it does not require these things that feel somewhat impossible, like going viral or having 100,000 followers. These are things that we think we need to have, and we try to chase them. We don't actually need them. Like, how many people actually need to see your content or be introduced to you in order to have 20, 25, 10, 15, under 50 students, right? Like well under 50 students. Do you actually need 100,000 followers if all you really need to make six figures is way less than 50 people? So I want to focus on three clear paths to increasing your income. And we just covered one of them. So teaching, coaching, that's a great place to start. Again, I want to emphasize that if you want to be a full-time performer, there's nothing wrong with that. And you could actually still create something that is sharing of your knowledge. So maybe you don't want to teach and trade time for money. You really want all of your time to go into the live performing, but you could still create some kind of course that was geared towards your fans. Like if you're a singer-songwriter, you can create a course about singing and songwriting, sure, but you could also create some kind of music appreciation course on your biggest influence, especially if your biggest influence or influences are huge bands that other people are also really interested in. One of my clients does a lot of reels where he breaks down like how kind of amazing the Beatles song structure are. And I'm like, wow. And it's the sort of thing that people like to geek out on. And absolutely people would buy a course like that. You just think of that whole Masterclass series where they bring in some kind of celebrity to teach a masterclass, and they're basically appreciation courses of that teachers, whatever it is that that teacher is an expert in, because this is so mass. It's not going out just to the people who want to become professional chefs or professional writers. That masterclass series appeals to a broad spectrum of people who are just interested in learning about a subject. And so I love selling courses and creating courses and having that be one of the streams of income, even for my clients who are primarily performing. But let's say you're like, yeah, Fiona, but I don't want to do that at all. I don't want to do any kind of teaching, any kind of coaching, any kind of course building. What else can I do to create money on top of my performing? And so for you, I just want to say, have you done any affiliate marketing yet? Because one of the easiest ways to make passive income as an artist is through affiliate marketing, just through Amazon links. Just by creating a PDF or a web page that lists out your gear and links to Amazon, and you're an affiliate for Amazon. And suddenly, every time you make a YouTube video or you talk about your newest music video or you're at a show and you just say, by the way, this is the mic I use. By the way, this is the camera I use. Like, depending upon what it is that you do. Let's say you're an actor and you show up on your Instagram stories and you say, I'm reading this incredible book. It's called The Artist's Way, and this is why I love it so much. And here's a link so you can buy it. That's affiliate marketing. On your artist website, you've got a page and it just lists out all of your favorite books and each one links to Amazon. So you can start right there with Amazon, but there's a whole bunch of other places that you can actually be an affiliate for as well. Software, courses. Let's say you don't want to build courses, but you know there are people in your audience who would really appreciate courses. And you can say, this is one of my favorite courses. It really helped me to whatever, write songs, play piano, learn guitar, whatever it is. And you link to that. And that's an affiliate link because that particular course creator has an affiliate program. So is any of this like just so easy that you're just suddenly going to be making all of this money? No, of course not. It's not like you have the idea and suddenly all the money comes in. It's like, oh, Fiona, I see that there's this possibility of building a real sustainable income without going viral, without the huge follower count, without getting discovered. And all it requires is me. It requires me to do the work. It requires me to learn something about strategy or learn something about course creation or learn something about attracting new students or learn something about how to do affiliate marketing or learn how to create an affiliate marketing page on my website. All it requires is you. And this is my point. If you want to build sustainable income as a performing artist, then you are all that is required. Now, if this was helpful to you, then definitely subscribe to the channel. Follow me on the socials, Instagram, Facebook. I have a free Facebook group. I highly recommend you hop into that. I have a free masterclass. It's like a 3-day masterclass called Pie in the Sky. I highly recommend that. I have a whole product suite of paid programs, both live and passive, to help you actually build this business, to help you with social media, to help you with marketing, to help you with sales, to help you with mindset and personal power. And so if you're interested in any of my programs, you can just message me or look at my social media. My favorite one is UNSHAKABLE because it includes everything. And there's a link to that in the description. And now, as always, go out into the world and shine your light. You have a voice. You deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.